Welcome back, Doll fans. Hit that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about, we did win yesterday, but what I'm hearing is, I heard something today where it was basically that Tua's hip doesn't need surgery. And what I'm kind of wondering here is that if we have to say something like that with the looming Jets game, and if Kansas City wins and we win, we get into the playoffs. Tua having a hip injury that we're basically saying doesn't need surgery, which means that there was possibly an option of being surgery. I mean, it's just, we're going to read a short tidbit of an article basically talking about this, where on Tua's hip, Mike McDaniel said it didn't improve as we were forecasting, not necessarily worse. You were expecting things to progress, and sometimes the body could care less about your expectations. McDaniel said it's not safe at all based on a litany of things that his body was vulnerable to. Mike McDaniel said that Tua will give more practice reps to Huntley than Tagovailoa this week, but they'll continue to monitor as the starters progress. So right now, it's the throwing, or I guess it's the hip that you torque on to throw the ball, and what is basically coming out is that Tua just didn't look like himself. It was hard for him to throw the ball, and the thing with Tua is he doesn't really have that strong of an arm as it is. So if he can't throw the ball as hard as he can normally, it's just not going to come out right. And I mean, it would be just true Dolphins fashion that we make it to the playoffs and Tua does not play in the playoffs. Because right now, Tyler Huntley is said to be getting more reps than Tua going into practice, and I don't know, man. The turnaround where, he couldn't get hit last week, and for him to just be able to turn around, I personally see, I know Tua probably wants to play, but man, we'll make a video of this basically later on in the off season. But if this is the case, if Tua can't go against the Jets, even if we win and get into the playoffs, I think you need to, we'll talk about this, but it might be a possibility that you have to draft a quarterback, because you can't rely on this. It can't be that he's off injured every single year. And that's the thing here, man, is that his hip, it's apparently not the hip that he injured in college. So it's a different hip. So it's like, the concussions and the shoulders and the ribs and the hips and the feet. And it's like ongoing thing with Tua where he just cannot stay healthy for a significant period of time. And of course, listen, that has to do somewhat with the offensive line, but it's also with him playing hero ball. I don't know when he's going to get this, that he cannot do that. He has to literally be like a Peyton Manning in the pocket or Tom Brady and just not take hits. Because every time he plays hero ball, this ends up happening, where he just ends up basically taking a hit that was unnecessary, and it ends up giving him a concussion, screwing his hip up, screwing his leg up, any of those different things. And again, it's like, I understand that, sometimes certain things happen, and this is the way that football works, you're getting hit, but it's the same damn outcome every single time, where this guy tries to play hero ball and he ends up getting injured. And at this point, it's like, you just talked about this, we literally, before this hip injury came out, before the Houston game, we just talked about this, where he just was in a press conference going, listen, I got to stay on the field for my teammates. I can't do these certain things that put my teams harm way, or in harm's way. And we just talked about this. He just had a press conference, and then he goes into the Houston game and he does a run, and instead of sliding, he decides to allow himself to take hits, and now he's injured again. This is just something that has to stop with this guy. At this point, you're forcing the hand of the Dolphins to have to draft a quarterback, because you do not learn. Like, you just don't get it. You don't understand that this is something that you cannot do. You cannot play hero ball, because every time you do, listen, I know when I was playing sports as a kid, I got injured a lot. I know I couldn't take an abundance of hits. When I was playing football, I got injured a lot. I understand that. it's like with him, he has to get it that I know you want to pretend that you're Josh Allen, but your body is not. Your body doesn't do the same thing that Josh Allen does. You get injured very easily. And the problem with that is that it forces the hands of the Dolphins to have to reconsider. It's not like we're playing with the not $100 or $100 million contract that he's got. You're getting paid a lot of money to stay on the field, and it's not about psyching yourself up or getting yourself hyped or whatever that he keeps describing that he needs to do, but it's about staying on the field and continually being the starting quarterback. It's going to be, I think, now the first year where 2 separate times he's been injured, or actually no, it's a continual thing. He continually does this, and this was just honestly, we all know what play it was. It was a very stupid play that he decided to run, and instead of sliding, he got sandwiched between 2 players. And it's the same damn thing over and over again. And it's just like this guy does not learn. He doesn't seem to get it. And like I said, if he doesn't play against the New York Jets or just, for the rest of the season, you're going to force the Dolphins' hand. You have to draft another quarterback or something. You have to do a second-round quarterback because he just doesn't seem to get it. He doesn't seem to get that he can't do this, and it's like, who do I describe? Peyton Manning, when he was in Denver, knew he just needs to stay in the pocket. Tom Brady knew he needed to stay in the pocket. Who else? Drew Brees knew he needed to stay in the pocket. It's like, you have to understand who you are, and who you are is not a running quarterback. If the pressure is on and you need to run, but if there's any sign of contact, just slide, just get out of the way of the contact. He keeps doing this, and again, I hope he plays on Sunday because Mike McDaniel did a good job beating the Browns with the backup quarterback, and Tyler Huntley looked way better. But man, he's if he doesn't play on Sunday against the Jets, regardless of what happens, I think in the offseason, you have to draft a quarterback because he just doesn't seem to get it. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he can be one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the league, Drew Brees style. He can be one of those guys. But if he keeps doing this, you can't rely on him. He can't stay on the field, and that's the biggest issue with him. He just cannot stay on the field, and it's not even like he can't stay on the field because it's out of his control. It's that he keeps doing stupid things, and every time he does something stupid, it costs the team, and it costs him. He gets injured. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated throughout the week. Again, hit that like and subscribe if you're new here. I love you guys all. Fins up, baby. We'll see if we can get it squeak our way into the playoffs. See what happens. Love you all. Peace.